Hi, friends, fellow dreamers, and mga kababayan. I'm just wanna say thank you so much for your comments, for your questions that I keep on receiving via email, via um, DM or messages, and I really appreciate that kasi interested kayo. And as you know, ginagawa ko naman tong video just to share my experiences here in New Zealand. And I was just once like you na ang daming tanong na I just wish somebody would give me like updated information about these things that you were asking me. And eto na, kinumpile ko siya from those previous comments and marami pa tayong upcoming videos moving forward. But these are the most common things na na-encounter ko. And if you feel like may mga follow-up questions pa kayo after answering all these questions from all of you guys via comment, feel free to comment again because sometimes medyo matagal ako mag-reply, and one of my subscribers has been a friend who keeps on telling me thank you, and I want to say as well thank you kasi you've given me idea on what
Mm,
contents to put out. I just want to be what do you call this, be transparent with my experiences and not to sugarcoat um, what I am currently experiencing here in New Zealand. So, again, so tara na, sagutin na natin lahat ng mga tanong nyo. Okay, let's do this. Alrighty, this video is all about answering your question revolving on this. Is studying and working in New Zealand worth it for Filipino students? And I've seen comments, and there are also DMs and emails. Actually, yung iba hindi ko pa nasama, but let's just focus more on those people who um, put their questions in the comment section para isahan na lang yung sagot. Kasi when I usually check on your inquiries, same thing lang din naman yung tinatanong. So, para isang bagsakan na natin 'tong sagutin, alright? So, studying in New Zealand as an international student. Okay, you know that I am an international student here. So, I would just be answering everything um relate I mean that's what do you call this one? No, I'm lacking of terms. I'm I will answer things that I've experienced myself and based from my own observation. So I also suggest that you don't believe me 100%, but also do your research as well, because it's we all have different experience, and baka meron din kayong ibang YouTuber na mapanood about news content. I mean, what do you call this? May content sila about New Zealand and they say something different. And just a quick background about me. I am studying Masters of Contemporary International Students at IPU, New Zealand. And it's located in Palmerston North, New Zealand. So Palmerston North is another city, and it's like 8 to 10, 11, I mean 8 to 11 hours far away from Auckland. So that's Auckland is another city as well, but it's one of the main cities. Yung city namin, which is Palmerston North, or they also know it as Palmy, it's rural city. I just consider it rural city for me because here it's not much crowded. I don't know yet with Auckland. I just went there when I went here in New Zealand in their airport only. So I haven't had a chance to explore Auckland. But it's much bigger than Palmerston North. Okay? So that's the basic thing about me. And I will just be answering my question based from my school. course, and of course location. Kasi you all know that location has also its factor for the um in finding work, in what do you call this, finding accommodation, like different city, different experiences. And I know you understand what I mean. Alrighty. So let's start with this first subscriber, Ivy. Her question is, "Hi po, I'm planning to study in New Zealand. Manageable lang po bang environment?" And there is still like continuation on this. I just didn't include um her context would be, um is the environment manageable, and she means that, is it okay for an international student? All right. Ivy, if I were to answer this question based from my experience, so far, if you know how to converse in English, if you know as well how to listen to somebody you are talking with, I think you will be good here in New Zealand. Because still English is the main language here, and we all know that we have different accent, like Asians have different accent than with um New Zealanders. So we just learn to adapt. And if ever you feel like you're talking with somebody who speaks fast, you just say, "Hey, can you please say it slowly so I would understand?" I just thinking lang na if you are thinking like me na kung ganun siya ka-manageable for international students. I mean, in terms of how you communicate, because that's the first one. I mean, we are Asians, or specifically, we are Filipino, so we don't get to speak in English on a day to day basis. So I think that would be a huge adjustment as well for us. And if you are a student here, actually, they're also nice with students so far. If you are going to study in my school, or I'm not quite sure with other cities, but in with my school, if you just have to show your ID, and you have free bus fare. I mean, around the Palmerston North. That's it. When you ride a bus. And ano pa bang um and you can also comment if this is the answer you've been asking or you've been expecting from me. Because based on how I interpret your question, yun yung main concern. If I were on your end, like a student, like if it's manageable. And next question from Anne. Ano pong time and schedule normally kapag weekend school for offshore students ng IPU? Sadly, I wasn't able to experience being an I mean, a student on a weekend schedule probably. So I'm not quite sure if it's still the same as what I had during my year one. Um I have my schedule, I think it's 11:30 p.m. AM in the Philippines up until 2 p.m. And that's around 3 um 3:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. in New Zealand. So probably mostly they might have that kind of schedule as well for students. Probably. But I'll um put in the comment, or I'll create actually another video on the intensive course or offerings of IPU in terms of masters, because a lot of people have been asking me, and I will try to reach out IPU's marketing managers so we can collab together and then talk about more about IPU. Yep. So, but for to answer your question, it's around at that time, just in case, 11 a.m. to what do you call this? 2 p.m. Philippine time. All right. Next, from Pinoy, ballpark figure ma'am, how much po ang dapat ihanda para makapag-aral ng masters sa New Zealand? Hmm, this is where my disclaimer would be, um, I cannot really say I mean, yeah, this is really ballpark, so, um, it will the amount that I'm going to say is really depend on your course, your school, and your location in New Zealand, because that also matters, right? For I think you can prepare like around 1.5 million to 3 million in peso for like a 2-year course for masters. Actually, with my school, I can recommend those figures, but I'm not quite sure kasi what course are you gonna choose later on and what school. So that's my disclaimer. So I'm not really the right person to ask, but not unless you figure out what school you're going to and what course. Probably you can base on those creators who are studying the same course para mas sure lang. Thank you for your question. And the next from James. Actually, this person has a lot of questions kaya may Q1 and so on. Anyway, but thank you for your questions. I appreciate it. Planning on early enrolling to a level 7 course, do you suggest getting an agent or DIY? Mhm. This is the what do you call this? There's no right or wrong answer to this one, but according to my opinion, if you were to ask me by then, if you are a first timer to do application like this, I would suggest you get I mean you have an agent to do or submit or lodge your visa application for you. It's just that to make sure really if you are collecting the right requirements, and there is also somebody who is like the mediator between you and the immigration. You know what I mean? Kasi pag nag-DIY ka, ang difference lang would be, yes, you don't have the professional fee, pero kasi lahat ng stress kasi nasa sa'yo. Imagine, kung ako, um, hindi ko na inire-regret. I don't really regret at all choosing Right Education New Zealand as my education agency at the time that I applied. It is because alam ko yung stress. Naranasan ko yung stress na you are collecting the requirements, you are also thinking of your funds and of your what you call this, of the things that you're going to pack if you are really decided to study in another country. And ang dami ring stress if magdi-DIY pa ako at that time. And that was also my first time to apply, I mean, on a student visa. So just to make things sure, that's my opinion. You um go for an agent. And then the next time na lang na and then sa mga succeeding visa, like for example, I'll have my post-study work open visa after I graduate. So that's 3 years. Ayun, medyo kaya na yun eh. Kaya na yun um, na ikaw na. So it's another thing, but I'm just saying if you're a first timer here, um, mas okay na may agent ka. Kasi imaginein mo kunwari may tanong si immigration, dediretso siya sa'yo. Tapos ikaw hindi mo alam paano mo rin sasagutin. Though alam kong alam mo kasi sa'yo nga galing yung mga requirements. Pero what if lang, sa sobrang kinabahan ka na and all, hindi mo nasagot yung tanong or meron kang kulang na requirements na hindi na-provide, you know what I mean? Wala namang interview at all when applying for visa. Yun nga yung goal, eh. Kaya rin ako kumuha ng agent kasi yung agent alam niya yung mga possible na hihingiin. Marami lang talagang documents na kailangan. That would be for another video. Pero at least 'di ba, somebody who have done it multiple times, gagawin niya na yun for you. Inalis mo na yung burden sa sarili mo na, ano pa bang mga, kailangan ko and so on. Though may listahan, yes, though sabihin natin may professional fee, yun naman din yung iniiwasan natin. I totally understand. Pero kasi, come to think of it, na ikaw ang mag-a-apply, problema mo din, lalo na 'pag first time ka. So, I hope you, got my point. So, but it really depends on you. That's just my opinion. So, take it from a grain of salt. Alright, eto maraming nagtatanong nito. Pera, 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 pera. I mean, yes, we can work here part-time while studying. So, the next questions that I'm about to answer would be, about part-time work and yeah, student life. But mostly part-time work. So, from Ivy again, sis, madali lang bang makakita ng part-time work dyan? Okay. If um you are a type of person na probably choosy ka, if what work to um what do you call this? What work you like, or mostly gusto natin, syempre wala namang gustong mahirapan eh, but the um the humble beginning starts talaga sa work. Yung mga bagay na hindi mo ginagawa sa Philippines, you are going to do it here. So if you can do anything, like if you can grab any available work, probably um hindi ka naman mahihirapan maghanap. And here in New Zealand, they really encourage us, and I've seen it myself, to build your community or socialize around, because that's really how I got my work. It's not being um it's not being, bluntly saying, hey, um it's not always asking na kung may part-time work bang kang alam to any people that you would meet, but what I'm trying to say is build relationship to people around you, not because may kailangan ka sa kanila, but because you sincerely also want to build a relationship, and then that's the start. And then from there, you get to know people, and then once you are getting along, you seek for their help. I hope you understand what I mean. So to answer your question, hindi masasabi kong depende kasi, it really varies. Ayokong magsabi ng hindi madali, pero kasi for me, I was able to find my part-time work like after a month, I'm here. May iba after 6 months. So it really, really depends sa experience mo, and um how persistent are you also asking people's help, like if they know a job, like also you're persistent in applying, probably. Yep. So my answer to this is it really depends upon the individual, but for me hindi ako nahirapan. It's because aside from I'm showing up to each community that I was in, like the church, um to and even in my workplace, I build friendships around. So yun yung naging way for me to find part-time work. That's the key actually. So I hope nasagot ko yung tanong mo. It really, really depends talaga. Okay, from James, mahirap po magkaroon ng part-time work. So it's just the same. Kung hindi ka mapili, hindi ka naman mahihirapan maghanap ng work kasi marami naman talagang work dito. It's just that I just want to also define na may iba-iba kasing tawag sa mga part-time dito. Casual, 'yan yung marami ako. Casual, um, I mean, it means you're an on-call employee. you are affiliated to a certain company, like certain restaurant, but they will call you casual because they will just call you when they needed somebody. So hindi ka permanent dun, and next, permanent part-time. Permanent part-time means you have like fixed hours of shift weekly, but still you're part-time. Like for example, some of my friends are doing permanent part-time work. Um they just work 16 hours a week, so it can be divided into 2 days, na 8 hours 8 hours. Pwede rin can be divided into 4 days, where you can work 4 hours each day. So it really depends on how the management will assign you. Okay, so hindi, what do you call this, depende kasi sa perception nyo. Hindi hindi mahirap for me. Hindi ako nahirapan kasi yun nga, network, 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 and wag kang papili. And another tip, sige, um, yung CV making kasi dito, I'll just give like brief background on that. Sa CV or resume writing, hindi kasi uubra dito yung parang yung one resume at ise-send mo na siya sa lahat ng same position na ina-applyan mo pero different company. Sa'tin kasi sa Philippines parang it can go that way. But here in New Zealand, like one job, what do you call this, posting, you have to do one CV on that, depending on their job description. Ite tailor fit po sa job description nila yung mga ilalagay mo sa CV mo. So let's say KA, they're looking for customer representative, and B same then customer representative, customer service representative. So sabihin natin they have the same role naman, but you have to check their job description and tailor fit it to what you're going to put in your CV. So what I mean is kahit same sila ng job title, but they differ in job description, yeah, you have to do different CV. Kaya ang dami ko ring CV na nakasave sa laptop ko. Iba-iba. I hope I answered your question, James. Next, is discrimination okay? Is discrimination rampant there? Alrighty. Gladly, all I can say is kudos to New Zealand. I'm really grateful that um I've been here for 4 months. Yeah, I think. I never had an experience. Um, I mean discrimination experience. I never had ever. It's normal that you talk to those people who was the same ethnicity as you. You know what I mean? You talk to Asians because you just connect easily. And it's just also normal that you feel the boundaries between um let's say Asians and let's say Kiwis at first, because you two are different person living in different world and different culture as well. But once you get along with people here, they're good. They're really good. That's all I can say. In terms of what do you call this? Discrimination. Wala eh. Wala talaga akong maisip na I've experienced eh. Luckily, hindi ko siya na-experience ito. Kaya if you're single, actually, and it's your first time to go abroad, actually, all I can say is you're safe here in New Zealand. I'm not saying to all places, but at least here in Palmerston North, because that's where I live in most of the time. Okay, let's go now to um, tuition, insurance, and cost of living. Alright. Anong pinakamurang insurance? I really don't know because I haven't had the chance to explore what insurance to grab because my agent suggested me an insurance already. But if you were to ask me what's my insurance, it's Southern Cross. And what's good with Southern Cross is your insurance starts when you arrive in New Zealand. Okay? Not unlike with other insurance company, I won't mention the name. Um, sabi lang din kasi ng agent ko yun na yung other insurance na hindi niya sinuggest with me would be nagsa-start yun upon your first day here in New Zealand. So that's the difference. Okay. And then next. Okay. Gusto ko yung huminga ko eh. Okay, another question. Isang baksakan lang ba ang pagbayad ng tuition? May karugtong pa 'to, pero ito yung gist ng question mo, James, right? Um, actually, it really depends on school. Because luckily, on my end, when I started studying online in the Philippines, I've also asked, like, um, do you have like payment scheme on your tuition? And luckily, they said they have two terms. Probably you just have to ask it to your agent and also to the school. But if you will be coming here in New Zealand, there's no payment scheme na let's say two payment scheme. You really have to pay your tuition in full because if you are coming here in New Zealand, because I mean you all know that my program, I started 1 year online, and on my second year, yeah, it's my second year now, I have to go here in New Zealand to continue studying. But if you don't have that kind of chance to study online in the Philippines before going here, probably there's no let's say there should be isang baksakang tuition fee ang pagbabayad because you also have to submit in the immigration your tuition receipt so they would know that hey, this person is genuinely studying in New Zealand. Yeah, that's the difference of New Zealand among other countries na they really make sure that your tuition is fully paid before um you enter here in their place. And next, okay. So, nasagot ko na pala 'to. Anyway, I hope I've answered your questions and konti na lang matatapos na tayo. Or okay, for accommodation and living setup. Ito marami rin nagtatanong sa akin nito. And okay, from James again, kamusta accommodation diyan? May granny flats ba like Australia? Mhm. Actually, the usual accommodation type here would be, let's say there's a house and they have spare room na pwede nilang ipa-rent to a student. Puwedeng yun yung first. You're like a boarder sa bahay nila. Eh, not quite sure if merong parang student flat naman dito ng katulad ng version ng granny flat. But the usual thing, yun nga, may bahay, ta's merong spare room, or the others type naman would be merong parang mga certain na nagpapa dito ng mga bahay nila pero kwarto-kwarto pa din. Laging gano'n. 'Cause I'm not quite familiar with granny flat pero 'pag nakikita ko siya para siyang ano, eh, 'no, lahat kayo same kayo, eh, lahat kayo granny, natural. Parang gano'n, lahat kayo dapat granny or in terms of student, lahat kayo dapat student. Wala pa akong na encounter na gano'n. Pero, um, the usual thing would be sometimes as well, there were group of students na magre-rent sila ng isang, house and they will, share on the payment, on the rent payment, gano'n. That's the other thing. I hope I answered your question. Career shifting and course options. Okay. From Yellow, Kati, ang puwede po ba mag-career shift from HR to health and well-being level 4? I think there's no issue naman on shifting your shifting the course as long as you can also state in your statement of purpose when you apply of why you got interested with health and well-being level 4. That's it. Kasi ganun din naman yung ginawa ko na parang naging career shifter ako in a way. Pero kasi ang generic kasi nung masters namin eh, like contemporary international studies, like naging inline din naman kasi siya kasi may subject din kaming marketing nung first year ko. So, I was in the sales and marketing field din naman at that time. Basta ganun. You just have to connect it sa, you have to just justify why you're choosing that course now. Whew! Let's go. Malapit na tayo matapos. Agent or direct application, like agent concern, something like that. Okay, from John Eric. Agency po ba yung in-applyan nyo? Um, would do you mean na um wait lang. I hired the service of education consultancy agency na sila yung nag-e-enroll sa'kin nag-e-enroll sa'kin on behalf of me sa school. You know what I mean? Since I won't be able to be in New Zealand to enroll myself, they were the ones doing it for me. And ang agency ko is Right Education New Zealand. Okay. And so, kasi usually yung ibang mga school, gusto nila meron ka ng agent 'pag nag-a-apply ka rin sa kanila, gano'n. Iba-ibang case kasi, like meron akong ako 'di ba, meron akong agent, let's say yung Right Education New Zealand. Right Education New Zealand enrolled, I mean, enrolled me on my behalf sa IPU. And meron naman ding ibang, strategy, narinig ko lang 'to, okay, don't quote me on this. May iba na, um they directly went to school, asked for, for let's say the tuition, la 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 la. Yeah, they can enroll on their own, but for the application of visa, they applied or seek help for immigration advisor for, to do it for them. So it really depends. And on my end, mas sa akin lang kung mag-hire ako ng immigration advisor directly, ako mismo medyo mas mahal 'yun. At unlike kung mag-hire ako ng, ayun nga, education consultant kasi kasama na sa professional fee nun, when I applied for a student visa, yung professional fee nila upon lodging or submitting my visa. Okay. And lastly, yahoo! Tapos matatapos na tayo. It's been 30 minutes. Okay. Lastly, from James, do you suggest getting an agent here or DIY? For me, I'll get an agent if it's my first time to go for student visa, just to make sure of things. That's it. Alrighty. Thank you so much, everyone, for your questions. And because of that, I was able to create another content about being an international student here in New Zealand. And just bear with me if sometimes I upload late because I'm just busy here juggling between school, between work, and also myself. That's why. But I'm just here. So if you have any questions, you can just DM me on Facebook or on Instagram. Yeah. And for more real life videos, you can follow me here on YouTube and also on TikTok. So thank you so much again for staying up until this long. Ang haba ng video na to, but I just wanna answer your questions ng detailed as much as possible para hindi na rin ako paulit-ulit sumasagot. Well, I love answering your questions pero yung iba kasi halos pare-parehas lang yung nagiging tanong kaya I decided to put it here on a video para Eto na, isang bagsakan na, eto na yung sagot, gano'n. Anyway, thank you so much everyone, and I hope you learned something from me, and just feel free to reach me out. And if you are the one student that will be going to New Zealand someday, I hope you can we can see each other soon and just say kia ora. All right, so see you again on my next video. Ciao.